Please be warned. The story you're about to hear is completely true. In fact, there is evidence that suggests it has been ignored by the greedy brain and memory loss industry since the fall of the year 2001 until today. Even as we speak, there is vested interest in keeping this information buried from millions of desperate people. Honestly, I fully expect this page to be taken down at any time. This private information is simply too controversial, so please pay attention. In 2001, right after the tragic 9/11 attack, one rogue American scientist, in spite of Big Pharma's constant threats and pushbacks, decided to make the impossible true, fight against the mental menace that almost crippled this great country, and discover the true key to fixing memory loss. This is not hype. I'm talking about what could be the biggest medical breakthrough for the past 100 years. And every single clue I'm about to reveal in just a few moments leads directly to this miracle of forbidden science. Hi, my name is Dr. Gary Herbert. Today, rogue media sites claim that I'm Big Pharma's most hated man. If you or one of your loved ones struggle with memory loss, then pay close attention. Because in the next 3 minutes, I'll show you a scientifically proven method that helps your body regain its natural capability to bring your brain back to its full strength in a matter of weeks. All this without having to take dangerous drugs, constantly watching what you eat and drink, and without paying a single visit to your doctor. So let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why memory loss occurs in even the healthiest of people? Even the ones that only eat the foods the doctors recommend and strictly adhere to any medication regimens they're prescribed? It almost seems somehow like memory loss has another brain behind it. The answer might be considered to be shocking. But you will see the actual reason why your memory lapses have been constantly appearing over the past 6 months and will ultimately give you the key to stop them from appearing altogether, while restoring your brain to full health in just a matter of weeks. Because today you have the chance to be free, to do anything you want, anytime you want, while your body naturally keeps your brain functioning at full capacity, to stop worrying about the horrifying things that can happen, like forgetting who your loved ones are or setting your house on fire by accident. And instead, you'll be full of energy and vitality every single day of your life, able to enjoy every moment you spend with your family without worrying about anything else. Yes, I know how crazy all this sounds right now. After all, you've probably heard countless different stories over the years. Big Pharma's paid lapdogs have been conveniently leading you to think that the only way to keep your memory decay under control is with medications that also bring dangerous side effects and long-term damage potential. The doctors are always happy to write you that expensive prescription, while telling you to essentially sit down and shut up, because if you follow their by-the-book rules, your condition will never progress. Even though you always have to go back for a refill a few months later, because for a simple reason that not a single one of these geniuses have yet to figure out, your memory kept getting worse. But this stops today. And no matter where you are and whether your memory lapses have been happening for a year or a decade, you owe it to yourself to watch every single second of this video. So make sure you stay right where you are because time is not on our side. So if you'd had enough with the pain, frustration, and humiliation of not being able to live your life like a normal human being, if you're tired of not remembering even the most important things, if you want to stop worrying about whether this condition will endanger you or your loved ones, or will ultimately cause you to forget every single beautiful thing about them altogether, then continue to watch this because you're going to discover a clinically proven method to break free from the memory loss nightmare in just a few short weeks from now, without any dangerous medications and without paying a single visit to your doctor. Because as incredible as this sounds, in 2022, having to deal with cognitive decay is completely optional. John Baker, 66, from Maine. This is the only thing that has worked for me. My memory lapses are gone, and I feel so much better now. Thank you so much. Rick Peralta, 59, from Nashville. Ever since I added this solution to my routine, my memory has been steadily improving. I never thought I would be completely healthy again, but this proved me wrong. And I'm glad it did. Everything is so amazing. Susan Collins, 50, from Michigan. I just wish I came across your solution earlier. This can save millions of lives, and I'm glad I chose it to save mine too. I would choose this again in the blink of an eye. Like I said, my name is Dr. Gary Herbert. In my over 30 years of medical experience, I've specialized in helping American men and women fight memory loss and its nightmarish effects. Even so, throughout my entire scientific career, I only had one dream: to research and develop the ultimate clinically proven solution that would help people break free once and for all from cognitive decay. I knew from the very beginning it would be a real battle against Big Pharma's drug lords that trap hundreds of thousands of new desperate customers every year. That's how they refer to you, a desperate customer. For them, you are nothing more than a pocket they can suck cash from. But you probably already knew that, right? Even up to this day. With all the major advances in technology, they are not interested in something that can completely set you free from this debilitating disease. And I should know this very well because I used to work for them. I decided to quit when I realized the shady practices they've been forcing on millions of innocent men and women. Now, before we move forward, you should know something. 99% of the doctors, probably including your own, think that having memory lapses is only normal, and to some point, they are right. It's something all of us go through in one way or another. Now, while this may seem common, as every single health expert will tell you, there's no way it's normal, as I'll show you in just a few minutes. If you have severe memory loss, you may already know that you've developed it because your brain doesn't function properly. Perhaps your doctor explained to you that your brain was supposed to produce certain types of brain waves to keep your memory intact, but now this process is faulty. Either your brain waves are not the same as they used to be, or you have developed some kind of condition that stops your brain from properly functioning. Both of these problems inevitably lead to the same result. Your brain is not healthy anymore, so your memory begins fading. Once this happens, the nightmare begins. First, it slowly attacks your head. It starts with blurry vision, flashes of light, and never-ending headaches. You start feeling dizzy and exhausted all the time, wondering if it's going to stop. Then it affects your relationships with others. You start forgetting even the most important events in your life, and that drives people away from you, which means you'll lose your best friends without you even knowing. And then, in the final stage, your entire brain collapses under the damage of memory loss. And it's all due to one single cause: your brain's inability to find out what's wrong with itself. But the worst thing is that while your doctor is feeding you drugs, your brain keeps getting sicker and sicker until it breaks down completely. Now, if any of this rings true for you, you should know something. It's not your fault. It really isn't. I've been watching people go through all these stages for almost my entire career and always prescribed them the standard medicine and treated their symptoms. First, I used these side effects-filled drugs on all of my patients. After all, that's what medical school taught me. I didn't know any different. But all it took was one day to change everything I thought was real about cognitive decay. So stick with me for a few more minutes because I'll unveil the story of how I accidentally stumbled across what could be considered the most incredible scientific discovery in the history of modern medicine. The real solution that any man and woman can use to break free from the memory loss nightmare. It all started the day Jessica Lynn came to my office. She was an extremely polite 56-year-old woman whose memory lapses started nearly 5 years earlier, even though she had no history of this disease running in her family. The only other problem she had was type 2 diabetes. Now, up until that day, I can honestly say that in my over 30 years of experience, I've had thousands of patients coming to my office, and I thought, I've seen and heard it all. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong. When Jessica showed me her previous lab results, it shocked me. Her brain scans showed nothing peculiar. So in theory, she shouldn't have been suffering from memory lapses. However, she told me she had been experiencing occasional dizziness, vision loss, and sometimes she'd get a headache that just wouldn't go away for the life of it. She showed me every medicine she's taken since the other doctors gave her every pill they could think of. This woman was basically sedated by the combination of every memory-enhancing drug on the planet, and absolutely nothing worked. Although she followed every single treatment in the book, including healthy meal plans, they had zero effect on her. But for her, the worst was yet to come. It looked like her memory lapses were becoming more and more severe, with her even forgetting her daughter's name, sometimes even who she was. And doctors had told her that if her condition doesn't improve in a few months, there would be a 99% chance they'll have to take her under surgery to see what's wrong. "Help me, doctor, I don't know what else to do," she said to me with tears running down her cheeks. It was truly terrible. I just couldn't understand what was happening to this woman. I stayed late that night, long after she left, thinking about her situation and about other people that came to me for help over the years. It kept haunting me. Why do some people manage to keep their brain functions running smoothly no matter what lifestyle they lead? Why do some of my patients come back after a month with worsening symptoms and others need nothing more than to have their prescriptions refilled? And more importantly, if science claims there is no active solution for this terrible disease, why have some of my patients been memory lapse free for over a decade? What makes them so different from any other person out there? It just didn't make any sense. There had to be something that was destroying the brain's ability to properly function. I just wasn't able to see it. But life works in mysterious ways. Because the next morning I received a call that was going to change everything I thought was real about our cognitive system. His name was Dr. Paul Durden, one of my respected colleagues and an old friend. Dr. Durden wanted to meet with me, as word got around that I had quit Big Pharma. Just like me, he had been in the field for more than 30 years. He dealt with extreme cases of type 2 diabetes, and sadly has seen with his own eyes what this disease can do to people, including amputation and even total blindness. His work, in every sense of the word, was widely considered to be impeccable. He wanted to know if he could help me with my new project. As we got to talk, he handed me a large folder with quite a few patient case files, and even though it seemed odd at first, I quickly understood why. "Look, Gary," Dr. Durden said. "Sarah Parker, 60 years old, severe memory loss, at risk of something even more dangerous. Matthew Fleming, 55-year-old grandfather. The doctors estimated a year until his memory is complete, ravaged. Ryan Franks, a 52-year-old husband and father, he spent a week in the hospital before doctors let him go without even knowing what was wrong with him. Here's 100 more," Dr. Durden said. "All these 100 case files I've shown you, Gary, are now 100% memory loss free. And let me tell you, it did not happen by accident, and sure, it did not happen because of the Big Pharma prescription medicine they took." And then Dr. Durden said something that had me do mental flips. "Adrian, we were 99% right about cognitive decay. We just missed the 1%, and it was staring us right in our faces." And then my good old friend and colleague explained it to me. It looked like when it came to the real cause of memory loss, scientists were looking in the wrong place. The location where memory loss starts is not in the brain per se, but someplace else inside the human body, and it's all because of a hidden substance. A vicious element that produces an imbalance capable of stopping your memory from functioning properly. Let me explain. It all started a few years back with an extensive study which is now published in the renowned Live Science publication. These brilliant scientists asked themselves, what's the part of the brain that regulates memory, and what hormones does it respond to? So they picked a handful of brave volunteers who suffered from memory loss and had them undergo a number of tests involving a secret hormone. Now what they found inside these people, from the samples they took, simply shocked the entire medical community. They were able to trace cognitive decay back to its origins. Like I mentioned, the hippocampus is the part of the brain associated with memory. Its role is to store long-term memories and make them impossible to forget. Think of the hippocampus as a safe, where your brain stores its most prized memories under lock and key, making sure they don't get destroyed in case worse things happen. But what scientists have failed to understand until now is what exactly hijacks this safe. At first, they thought it was because of substance abuse, like alcohol, drugs, or smoking. But that doesn't explain how some otherwise healthy people experience grave memory loss when they reach a more advanced age. At a certain level, they were right. In fact, while these factors do increase the risk of developing cognitive impairment, they're not really the leading causes of it. But here's the thing. Those aren't the only factors we should think about when considering cognitive decay. Your brain is really smart as organs go. Evolution has made it this way, or the human race wouldn't have survived. Our ancestors need that so that they could adapt fast enough. So the brain knows that harm comes with intruders. But what happens when the intruders first pretend they're part of your family? You see, the human body contains billions of cells, hormones, and bacteria. Yes, bacteria. Each of these bacteria have their specific role in the human immune and digestive systems. But since those bacteria and the hormones they work with are part of a system, it very rarely happens that the hormones have a single, unique function. Now, among all this, there are a few hormones that, even with today's science, we still haven't found out all of their roles and how they completely affect our system. One of these is the IGF-2 hormone. IGF-2, or insulin-like growth factor 2, is a hormone that primarily helps the fetus evolve in the embryo. IGF-2 also has the role of developing cells, tissue, and promotes division of cells. But what if that's not all it does? According to a recent study published by Nature Reviews Neuroscience, IGF-2 has been discovered to have a very important role in fortifying the hippocampus. Since we know that the hippocampus is the memory center, it's easy to put two and two together. Now, the thing is, just like in every system, every part of it has to function like clockwork. If the scales are tipped to any side in any way, your body is prone to disease. That's exactly what happens if the IGF-2 in your body is secreted in too high or too low a quantity. According to researchers at the Karger Research Center, an imbalance in the IGF-2 hormone may cause a series of diseases such as cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. But what really causes erratic levels of this hormone, you may ask? Well, it's right under our noses. To understand the process, we need to think of IGF-2 as IGF-1's little brother. IGF-1 is basically another version of IGF-2 that, besides helping with tissue and cell development, helps regulate blood sugar levels. Do you see where I'm going with this? Considering that IGF-1 and IGF-2 are technically the same type of hormone, it's obvious that what hurts the one hurts the other as well. Can you see it, Gary? The doctors were worried about the wrong kind of substance abuse after all. The enemy isn't your usual glass of whiskey or other unhealthy habits people blame everything on. In this scenario, it's something more common and even legal. I'm talking about sugar. And he was right. Turns out, the average American consumes somewhere around 3 pounds of sugar per week. That's a few hundred times more than the maximum recommended intake. And according to a buried study published in the archives of the National Library of Medicine, excessive sugar intake can actually impair cognitive functions. All that sugar can suppress the IGF-2, and the hippocampus is deprived of the very thing that fortifies it, leaving it completely vulnerable. This is the secret they don't tell you about. They leave you in the dark, desperate and afraid. And yet the memory loss industry adds billions in sales every year. Looking over Dr. Durden's notes, it blew my mind. We finally knew where to start to be able to fight this debilitating disease. So if we could find a way to regulate the sugar in our blood, the body could stand up against memory loss on its own. By regulating the IGF-2 levels. Now that we know what part of the body we have to target, we have a fighting chance, I said to Dr. Durden. Look at these files, Gary. They've all been memory loss free for almost 3 years. Lab tests showed zero trace of cognitive decay or high blood sugar. I did find the way, he replied with a big smile on his face. I was intrigued, and then Dr. Durden explained it to me. To eliminate the dangerous sugar from your system and prevent it from hijacking your hippocampus, you need to safely introduce certain chemicals inside your bloodstream. Once your body eliminates all the excess sugar, it will then start to regulate the normal production of IGF-2 and your blood sugar will go back to healthy levels. And then your body will recover from all the symptoms of this debilitating disease. It's like we always said, we have to start from the core root of the problem. But the real trick is doing so without causing more imbalance in the body. So normal treatments like insulin aren't the way to go. They're too indiscriminate. And then Dr. Durden showed how after 2.5 years of exhausting research and countless lab tests, he finally managed to find the right combination of natural ingredients that helped his patients break free from cognitive decay and its debilitating symptoms. There it was, on the next page of his research notes, all the ingredients and specific quantities he'd used to reverse memory loss and normalize blood sugar. It took him 4 years and hundreds of different combinations to reach the exact formula that resets the body's ability to control blood sugar and obliterate memory loss. It was incredible, and I had just the right person to share this formula with. I knew Jessica Lynn didn't have much time left, so I called her immediately to show her our findings and asked her if she wanted to be part of our experiment. She gladly said yes. So Dr. Durden and I gave her the formula and instructed her to follow the program according to his experience with his previous patients. She was game and followed our directions, even though I'll have to say that what we gave her didn't look all that professional. It looked more like something from a tribal witch doctor, not from respected physicians. I guess it was something inside her that told her everything would play out well for her if she just has patience and continues to be part of the program. And oh boy, was she right. Because days later, her blood sugar dropped from 260 to 158. The first good news she ever had in her memory loss journey. A few days later after that, it was down to 138. Then in just a few weeks since she started the program, her blood sugar was down to 119. She carefully checked over the next few days, and the highest it went up to was 125 a few times. But as she remembered what Dr. Durden said, it was normal in this stage, and she should wait because it will soon get much better. And Dr. Durden was right, because after just a few more weeks, her blood sugar was down to a healthy 112, and every day after that was a blessing. Her blood sugar levels would never go higher than 112 after that, even when she ate all her favorite desserts. Now, after a month of monitoring, it was time to test her actual memory. After Dr. Durden and I ran a few tests, questioning her about everything she had done, and especially eaten during the past few weeks, we were amazed to see that her memory was stronger than ever. and she could now remember even what we were wearing the first time we met. Not to mention, she even managed to memorize the first 50 digits of pi by heart. A couple months later, when we tested her IGF-2 levels, the results were brilliant. She finally regulated them. Not to mention, even her type 2 diabetes was reversed. It was the most incredible feeling ever. She hugged me like a kid who just got her favorite Christmas present, as I continued to stare at her test results. Even up to this day, she calls me every couple of months to thank Dr. Durden and I for saving her life from this miserable disease. Well, we thank you, Jessica, for giving this formula a try and being the pioneer of what's now the biggest medical breakthrough in the memory loss industry. Seeing the incredible results this formula has, I convinced Dr. Durden to share this formula with as many people as we could find. But he warned me, "It's not going to be easy. Big Pharma will come after us with everything they've got," Dr. Durden said. So that night we went online and posted an ad saying we were looking for more volunteers. From people who had only been experiencing memory loss for a few months to people who have been dealing with this for the past decade, people with no history of type 2 diabetes, and people who had it too. But all with one thing in common. Memory loss and cognitive decay were ruining every aspect of their lives. In a week and a half, we had more than 80 volunteers from 32 to even 81 years old, ready to confirm our theory. Lo and behold, after just 1 month of trials, 100% of the participants reduced their blood sugar levels, improved their cognitive functions by 179%, and the ones with type 2 diabetes even managed to reverse it. Not to mention the other benefits, such as losing unwanted weight, improving their stamina, clearing their skin, and getting shinier, fuller hair. It was clear as daylight that this formula was working. Dr. Durden and I were witnessing our lifelong dreams come true. All the suffering from memory loss and type 2 diabetes had to end, and we had to make this available for everyone. We worked hard every day to find the purest, highest quality ingredients and the most pristine facility to prepare them. But after over a month of hard work, we finally did it. We created a clinically proven natural formula that targets the root cause of memory loss and type 2 diabetes, resets your body's ability to control your blood sugar, and offers your brain all the power it needs to function at full capacity. We called it Memorcyn, the only natural blend that goes directly to the root cause of your memory loss while fixing your body's natural ability to maintain healthy blood sugar levels. We only produce Memorcyn in our FDA-approved facility using the latest technology and equipment. Also, every drop of Memorcyn is non-GMO and safe. This protocol is very easy to follow and is also diabetic-friendly. Memorcyn doesn't just help break free from both memory loss and type 2 diabetes, but also rejuvenates your heart and arteries, improves your vision, your memory and focus, boosts your energy levels, and so much more. So you'll also be improving your overall health at the same time. Here's a short explanation on how the ingredients work and why they are so powerful. First, your body absorbs these powerful nutrients. As soon as you've taken the first drop of Memorcyn, the nutrient absorption process begins. We combined over 20 powerful ingredients and vitamins chosen from selected locations, such as the beautiful lands of Asia, Europe, Africa, and even the Brazilian rainforest. All these amazing nutrients are essentials for doing two things. First, they reset your body's natural ability to keep your blood sugar under control. And second, they help you break free from memory loss in a matter of weeks. Since they are 100% natural and have been selected due to their purity, your body will immediately start absorbing them. And the memory restoring, blood sugar lowering process will begin immediately. Second, your organism's ability to normalize blood sugar is reset. Once your body has absorbed all these powerful nutrients, the healing process of your body and brain will begin. This is extremely important. In order for your body to be able to regularize the production of IGF-2 and normalize your blood sugar levels, it needs to detoxify first. This detoxification process happens on a cellular level, and it's very sensitive, so the ingredients we selected had to be extremely powerful with long-lasting results. First, we added chromium picolinate. According to a study published in the National Library of Medicine, this amazing ingredient acts like a natural regulator for your blood sugar levels, regulating the IGF-2 hormone and flushing out all the sugar that's been causing you so much trouble. Now, as I mentioned earlier, IGF-2 is a hormone that's incredibly important for your hippocampus to properly function and store memories safely. That's why we also added cayenne, which also has incredible anti-type 2 diabetes properties. Cayenne, or under its scientific name, Capsicum annuum, has been recently found to obliterate fat molecules inside your blood, therefore detoxifying it, and also to lower blood sugar levels. Not only that, but Capsicum annuum has the power to stimulate IGF-2. In fact, this miraculous ingredient has the capability to keep your weight under control and also rid you of your type 2 diabetes complications. Third, your blood sugar and IGF-2 levels go back to normal, and you become type 2 diabetes and memory loss free. Now pay attention, because from this point on, incredible things start to happen. Panax ginseng has been widely used in Asian herbal medicine to lower blood sugar levels and fight type 2 diabetes. Studies have shown that bitter melon naturally lowers your body's blood sugar and helps your body regulate IGF-2 secretion. This is because this amazing plant has certain properties that act just like insulin, helping cells absorb glucose for energy. Once the Panax is absorbed into your body, it will neutralize the excess sugar inside your blood, all the while nourishing your brain and offering it the nutrients it's been deprived of for so long. The African mango we added to this mix has the power to reduce blood sugar and possesses anti-inflammatory properties, soothing your cognitive system and fighting dangerous sugar. Maca has been found to decrease blood sugar and nourish the blood with oxygen, and it's considered a breakthrough in the battle against type 2 diabetes. Astragalus, an amazing plant found in the tropical forests of Asia and Australia, which helps reduce sugar cravings, helps to reduce blood sugar levels, and helps with improving cholesterol levels. All of these ingredients fight to purify your blood and nourish the brain to achieve its full power. Next, you start being protected against memory loss and type 2 diabetes. Now, the purpose of this formula is not just to set you free from the memory loss nightmare and restore your blood sugar to normal levels, but also to keep it like this on a long-term basis. For this to happen, we needed to make sure your body is surrounded by a bulletproof shield, focused on your brain and blood. For this, we added L-glutamine, L-tyrosine, and L-arginine. Studies have shown that these three elements combined have the power to enhance each other, acting like a triangle that nourishes your systems, purifies it of any toxic substances, reduces blood sugar levels, and creates healthy blood flow towards the brain. On top of that, these three agents of health will improve circulation, enhance the nutrient absorption process by 79%, and create a defensive shield around your body, offering you the safest way towards eliminating both memory loss and type 2 diabetes from your life. With this exact combination, your body will stay healthy and protected against these harmful conditions for many, many years to come. And finally, your entire body becomes nourished. In just a few weeks, your blood sugar will go back to normal and your memory loss will become a thing of the past, while you're protected even against type 2 diabetes. And because this blend is so powerful, every single cell of your body will start to transform and rejuvenate. African mango also reduces cholesterol levels, improves natural production of insulin by protecting the beta cells of the pancreas, reduces hypertension, and supports your body in maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. Green tea, another amazing plant with extremely powerful benefits, in addition to lowering blood sugar levels, is a strong antioxidant which helps with cholesterol, weight gain, and can protect against kidney damage. Guarana also normalizes cholesterol levels, helps with high blood pressure, joint pain, constipation, dizziness, and even ringing in your ears. Raspberry ketones also help to create a shield around your brain and prevent autoimmune disorders. A total of over 20 incredible plants, vitamins, and minerals mixed perfectly to fix your mind and body, shielding you against both memory loss and type 2 diabetes, once and for all. No other blend that we are aware of can match the effectiveness of this memory loss solution. And in just a few weeks, your blood sugar and IGF-2 levels will go back to normal. Your energy will skyrocket, and you'll be happy knowing that you never have to deal with this terrible disease ever again. That's because this natural blend does one important thing. It keeps memory loss away from you and your brain for good. Now you're probably wondering how you can get your hands on Memorcyn by now. You see, it's difficult for me to answer this question. That's because most of the ingredients used to make Memorcyn are extremely difficult to source, which makes our ability to keep high stocks on hand almost impossible. Every woman and man that has tested Memorcyn and broke free from both memory loss and type 2 diabetes are asking us to ship them more, for themselves and for their families and friends. This makes our stock run out in days every time we get a new shipment. And you should know that we produce Memorcyn in small batches only, which take up to 3 months to deliver, which means that once we run out of stock, you'll have to wait another 3 months until you can get your hands on this formula. But keeping our batches small is important, as it gives us the ability to keep high quality on our ingredients necessary for Memorcyn to work 100% for anyone. Then there's all of Big Pharma's angry lawyers who threaten they'll shut us down if we don't take this formula off the internet. But the good news is, since you're here, your product is reserved. But if you leave this page, unfortunately, we cannot guarantee supply when you come back. Now, before I tell you in what quantities you should take this supplement, here's something very important you should know. In order to make this formula work for you, you have to take into consideration the huge quantities of sugar you've had inside your body over the course of the past 2 years. Based on a test we conducted with our partnering lab on over 5,400 women and men from 12 different countries, looking at the severity of their IGF-2 and sugar levels in their system, I must confess, the results were shockingly bad. So when it comes to how much of Memorcyn you should take, our safe response is, don't risk it. After seeing the results of over 134,000 women and men from all over the world, we recommend taking a minimum of 3 bottles of Memorcyn for a period of 180 days. And if you want to be completely safe, then we recommend taking at least 6 bottles or more. This package is 100% guaranteed to naturally set you free from the memory loss nightmare while also getting your blood sugar levels to normal once and for all. Tens of thousands of people have used Memorcyn with mind-blowing results. They now enjoy the new life that has been given to them. They live a happy, full life where they don't have to constantly worry about forgetting even the simplest of things, or that one day, they'll even forget their own name. They are stress-free and anxiety-free, and their confidence levels are holding high and strong since both the risks of memory loss and of type 2 diabetes completely vanished from their lives. People like Anna Kelsey, 50 years old, who wrote us a few weeks into her program, "I used to forget so many things, from where I put my car keys or what I wanted to do in a room I just entered, to important dates such as my own husband's birthday. But ever since I came across this, not only did my memory become stronger, but my erratic blood sugar levels had finally stabilized for the first time in over a decade. I can't remember the last time I felt so good. And I only have you to thank." And Henry Tillman, a 42-year-old patient who was considering having brain surgery, told us, "My doctor freaked out today when I showed him my tests, and I enjoyed it to the fullest. Best feeling ever. Knowing that I no longer have to worry about waking up in the middle of nowhere, with no memory of how I got there and what I was looking for." And here's one from Dr. Jeffrey Strauss, one of my former colleagues who experienced the debilitating effects of memory loss at the age of 38. "I'm thanking you as a patient and as a doctor for making this miracle happen. It's the simplest, most intuitive medical program I've ever seen in my life, and I'm confident it will save millions of people. You're my hero, Gary." These are just a few of the people who have followed this program and reversed their cognitive decay in a matter of weeks without any surgery, pills, or injections. They simply followed our protocol, including a special diet that took me over 2 years to come up with and can revoke your type 2 diabetes in no time. Many people would pay everything they've got just to get their young, strong, and healthy mind and body back. I'd do it myself in a split second. And by the way, did you know that lifetime care costs for people with cognitive degenerative diseases are up to $100,000? And the worst part is, people pay that much just to manage their condition with no hope of ever curing it. So let me ask you, how much would you pay for the real solution to escape from memory loss? $5,000? $10,000? Personally, I would pay more. Any sane person would. I feel that when it comes to your health, happiness, and peace of mind, no cost is ever too high. My friends recommended that I sell a 60-day supply of Memorcyn for $9.97. Even my wife told me that I should charge at least $497 for such a powerful formula. But even though this formula already helped over 134,000 lucky men and women who would happily pay triple the price after seeing the benefits on themselves, I have no intention of charging you that much. I've been in your shoes, and what I've learned from this long and painful journey is that without your health and well-being, everything else fades away. And you can't put a price tag on that. So I'm not going to ask you those insane amounts. That's why today, you finally have the chance to escape this debilitating nightmare and free yourself from memory loss and type 2 diabetes for just $69. And here's something very important. Because I've seen how it feels like to be at the end of the rope, desperate and completely powerless facing this terrible disease, our manufacturing partner agreed to set up a discounted package system of 6 bottles for just $49 per bottle, plus free shipping when you secure your order today. Now, you've already seen some of the successful stories of the tens of thousands of men and women who've already tried Memorcyn and escaped the memory loss nightmare. 3 bottles of Memorcyn will normalize your blood sugar and regulate IGF-2, boost your energy levels, nourish your body, fix your brain, and restore its natural ability to keep your prized memories safe. But there is a reason why 98% of our users choose the 6 bottles package. Once you go with the 6 bottles package, in just 12 months from now, you'll be able to completely shield yourself against this debilitating disease and remove any trace of it from your system, all the while reversing your type 2 diabetes and creating a bulletproof shield around your entire body, which means that Memorcyn will act like a natural defense system against memory loss and type 2 diabetes, because it works on the very core of the problem, elevated blood sugar levels. But the good news doesn't stop there. To show you that we're backing you 100% in your journey towards restoring your health, should you choose to purchase the 3 or 6 bottle packages, we'll offer you 2 ebooks worth $150 completely free of charge. These ebooks each provide tips and tricks on how to preserve your brain health or regulate your blood sugar levels from the comfort of your own home, using things you can do yourself, such as healthy meals that boost your brain power and help normalizing your A1C, mindfulness tips that you can implement from your own couch, superfoods you should always have around your house, and many other things that will definitely help you achieve your goals. Does this sound good to you? Look below this video now. Make the right choice for you and your loved ones and choose the package below immediately. Once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Then fill in your payment details using a credit card or a debit card. Shortly after you fill in your information and confirm your order, your package of Memorcyn will be shipped to your doorstep. And remember, with every order you place today, you get free shipping. We stand behind the power of this program. That's why when you select your package today, you're fully covered by our 60-day no-questions-asked, money-back guarantee. Give Memorcyn a try and escape the life sentence memory loss has put you under. See how incredible it feels to not have to worry about erratic blood sugar levels, or always having to write down every important date and information just so you won't forget it. And feel the joy of having the freedom to do anything you want, anytime you want. Experience all this. And in 60 days, if you're not satisfied with the joy Memorcyn brings to your life, send me or Dr. Durden an email and we'll refund your entire investment right away. No questions asked, no hassle, no red tape. You have 2 full months to decide if Memorcyn is the right thing for you. So select your package, hit the button below, and get control over your life again. You have the power to change your life, and it's 1 click away. No more memory lapses, no more excruciating fear, no more worrying about life-threatening problems because of this debilitating disease. And it costs close to nothing, even compared to the price you pay every time you visit your doctor, not to mention the damage it has on your social life and your mind and body. Plus, you're protected by our 60-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go ahead and select your package now, and you can start being the person that you've always wanted to be. It all starts now, with a single click, and it takes less than a minute. Do it now and give Memorcyn a test try.